Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamerspro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Let me get into this topic here. So yesterday we were talking about the All-Star Weekend, the disaster that was. And on ESPN during a segment, they had Shannon Sharpe, they had Stephen A. Smith, and they had Kendrick Perkins. So they're there talking, and it got to the point where they were talking about the slam dunk contest. And Stephen A. Smith brought up the point about LeBron James' refusal to participate in the slam dunk contest. And as the conversation was going forward, Stephen A. Smith brought up some pretty sound points that Shannon Sharpe seemed to be afraid of addressing. Now, here's what's interesting. Kendrick Perkins, excuse me, is a LeBron James supporter. He's also one of the few people out there that are saying that he believes LeBron is the greatest player of all time. That's Kendrick Perkins. But from time to time, I have seen Kendrick Perkins go at LeBron. Like, he doesn't agree with every single thing LeBron says and does. So during the back and forth between Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, Kendrick Perkins begins to get visibly irritated, and he jumps into the fray. And he says, bro, what's essentially like, bro, what's with you in this thing of never being and always being afraid to hold LeBron James accountable? He said that to him. And Shannon Sharpe had to say, no, it's not true. I hold him accountable. Blah, blah, blah. So what we want to do is play what Kendrick Perkins had to say to Shannon Sharpe and listen to Shannon Sharpe's response of him basically try to deflect. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to this exchange here.
There is no one who knows basketball who will refute what I'm saying. There is no one who will do it. LeBron James refusing to participate in the slam dunk contest was the beginning and the spark plug of its demise. Period. You know what? There is no one who can dispute that.
You know what? I'm blaming LeBron for inflation, and the reason my 401k is not performing as well as it should.
You do that.
You blaming LeBron for
You do that.
First of all, I mean, those guys, and kudos to those guys, and I remember all the great dunk contests with Clyde Drexler, as I mentioned, Jordan and Dominique. But that was never something that resonated that he wanted to do. And I look at LeBron.
Maybe he didn't think he could win. Maybe he didn't think he could win.
Why not?
We'll never know.
Why not?
We'll never know.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So when LeBron said it, when LeBron set the standard like he was above the slam dunk contest, what you think everybody else is gonna do? All other superstars. You don't think we want to see a John Morant and Anthony Edwards? But they don't feel like it's important enough for them to do it. LeBron set that standard, Shannon, and we got to sit up here and acknowledge that. You know, I'm one of LeBron's biggest fans, man, when it comes down to the GOAT situation. But damn it, you got to start calling him out on that BS when he be doing it. And you don't be holding his feet to the fire.
Oh, no. I'll hold his feet to the fire, but it's hard for me to criticize a man that didn't want to be in the dunk contest because he's like, that doesn't move me. I don't think that. I think LeBron James.
Well, don't talk about it no more.
How about this here? He's very strategical. He's like, whatever's going to do to enhance. The dunk contest ain't going to enhance anything about LeBron.
Shannon, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Shannon?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Shannon?
I want to get to the celebrity.
Shannon, you're one of the greatest tight ends in the history of football.
Yeah.
There is a contest. I don't know what it is. There is a contest that involves tight ends. It ain't going to give you another Super Bowl. It's not going to do much for you. But everyone who came before you that was on your level did it. You backing out?
It have to be look. It have to be something about with my hands. Who has the better hands? But it's just far as I didn't really. I just look at it like LeBron. I just think LeBron is a power dunker.
So you heard what Kendrick Perkins had to say. He's basically like, bro, you never call out LeBron. You're afraid to do it. Is there some truth to that? I think there is, but it's not as simple as Shannon is afraid to call out LeBron, or doesn't call out LeBron. Excuse me. I have heard Shannon Sharpe on the occasion call out LeBron. He doesn't do it to the extent that I do with Kawhi. Like Kawhi, when he's effing up and I don't like what they're doing, low management, I call him out. We got the receipts, just go to the channel, right? I always do it. Now, the reason I do it is so I don't look like a clown in front of the audience. Why? Because the audience is like, well, you want to get on this player, you want to get on that player. Why don't you get on your favorite player? I do it all the time. And there are many videos. So anyone watching this show telling you that is a flat out liar. Because you can just Google Dreamerspro, put Kawhi Leonard, go through the catalog, and you see me criticizing Kawhi on numerous occasions. So anyone saying that is a total bozo. So there's that aspect with Shannon. But I also think there's this aspect that's also in play. I think Shannon wants to also maintain his relationship. And I think a lot of this is about relationships connected to various people. And he knows that if he goes at LeBron, certain things may be taken away from him. Now, to me, I personally believe that that's a bloody shame. Why? Because, listen, number one, you're a made man. You already made it in your career as a professional NFL player. Number two, you're a made man on television and media. Number three, and most importantly, you got money in your pocket. So if you got millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in your pocket, why are you afraid to say what you think? That's number three. And number four, help me figure this out. So if I feel a certain thing about a situation, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I think because I'm afraid of losing a relationship with another dude. Why would I care about losing a relationship with some dude? Especially when I have a family. Especially when I'm a grown-ass man. If somebody told me today, oh man, I'm not talking to you anymore, why would I care? Honestly. If it's not adding to my bottom line, why would I care? The things that matter to you as an adult, as a grown man, or who? Your family, your close friends. That's about it. So if it's not my family, my wife, my kids, my parents, some dude that we talking to in a professional context, like he don't want to talk to me because I kept it real. Who cares? Who cares? Now, sometimes you're going to step on your friend's toes. I think that's what happened with Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. But you also got to do your job. And I don't believe you're going to be going through life sitting there sobbing over the fact that, oh, well, Michael Jordan doesn't want to be my friend anymore. Really? You're married. You have a wife. You have kids. You have grandkids in the case of, and you're like, who cares? It's never that serious. Ever. So to be afraid of, oh, he's not going to talk to me. Who cares? Apparently, it's a big thing. A lot of people want to be a lot of people's friends. That's one thing I like about Marcellus Wiley. He be calling it out. Like, it is what it is, bro. It is what you're gonna feel a type of way, but I gotta say my piece. And this thing of trying to maintain relationships, like, bro, what's wrong with you? You got kids, man. Maintain a relationship with your kids. You got your lady. Maintain your relationship with your lady. You have your family. Maintain your relationship. You got your close friends. Maintain those relationships. But these dudes and I don't want to back this. Who cares? So I think there's an aspect of that, and these dudes want to keep getting invited to parties and all of that stuff. It is. I mean, we in a grown ass high school. Basically, we in grown-ass high school. So as you guys know, yesterday was the big day for everyone to react to that disaster that we're going to call an all-star game. Absolutely horrendous game where the team scored over 400 points between the two teams. But it wasn't just the game. The weekend itself was an absolute joke. And it was so much of a joke that when NBA Commissioner Adam Silver was giving out the award to the Eastern Conference winners, you could actually hear the disgust in his voice. You could tell that Adam Silver was embarrassed. The fact of the matter is the following about Adam Silver. These guys are running all over him. They're running all over him. I think they look at him as a pushover. I think he's way too much on the side of, always trying to hug it up and kumbaya with everyone, always capitulating to all of the demands and requests of the players. And as a result, the product is suffering. We keep hearing over and over again that if that if the former commissioner David Stern was at the helm, the NBA would be a totally different league than it is today. I think Adam Silver's is way too soft. I think these players know that he's soft, and they're running all over him, and they're embarrassing him. He went into that All-Star weekend believing that they were going to put forth a good product, and little did he know they just told him that to his face, and then they just walked off and started laughing. Same thing that John Moran did. John Moran went up to him, told him a bold-faced lie, and then went on about his business to do whatever the hell he wanted to do. So Adam Silver's really needs to tighten up his seatbelt and really get to work, because these guys have absolutely zero respect for him based on the way that I'm perceiving things right now. To hear his voice as he was handing out the MVP award, you could tell that he was disgusted. But hey, that's what happens when you're soft and you want to get along with everybody. You don't realize that your job is to ensure that you have the best product out there instead of you up there, you know, twerking it up all over the place for these players. But anyway, we have that. So what happened yesterday, there were various sources talking about it, but then I saw Stephen A. Smith and these guys on ESPN talking about the slam dunk contest. And as we're discussing it, on the panel it was Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, and Shannon Sharpe. And as we're talking about the slam dunk contest, after Matt McClung, let me just get his name right, Mac McClung, who actually won the contest 2 years in a row, who's actually used to be from the G League, and then I think he was signed by the Philadelphia 76ers. Stephen A. Smith then went off in a different direction, where he said that the genesis of all of this is actually when LeBron James refused to participate in the slam dunk contest. This is really when all of this got started. And the moment Shannon Sharpe heard that, he went into his usual emotional defense of LeBron. So what we want to do is want to play the exchange of these two gentlemen, and then want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what they had to say here.
You know where I'm going.
I'm about to go there.
LeBron James is directly responsible for ruining the slam dunk contest.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, he is.
Thank you.
We said, yes, he is.
You're
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. And I'm not laughing. I'm dead serious. All that other stuff, Hall of Fame, Mount Rushmore, phenomenal, four-time champion, all that other stuff. We will miss him when he's gone, appreciate his greatness, the whole bit. Mm-hmm. The one thing, Shannon, the one thing, I'll even let Shannon, I'm so serious about this, I'll shut up about the GOAT debate if you hear me out, okay?
Okay.
The slam dunk contest, I got the stat here, Shannon, because when we're talking about the slam dunk contest from 1985 to 1997, 5 of the 13 slam dunk contests were won by future Hall of Famers Jordan twice, Dominique Wilkins twice, Kobe once. Michael Jordan participated in the contest 3 times. Dominique Wilkins 5 times.
5.
Every high jumper, every skywalker, every above the rim talent salivated for the opportunity to compete in the slam dunk contest. It stopped when LeBron James said, "I'm not doing it." And from that point forward, the stars who followed didn't feel compelled to prioritize a slam dunk contest. The tradition that was set by others preceding LeBron James. We watched LeBron James, and then you know what he did, Shannon, to rub it in? He'd do it on the layup lines before games. You went to the games and you had people with the cameras clicking and going crazy because they saw LeBron James using a layup line pregame as his own slam dunk performance. And he did it on purpose, okay? So what I'm saying to you is when we look at the demise of the slam dunk from an historical perspective, there is no one who knows basketball who will refute what I'm saying. There is no one who would do it. LeBron James refusing to participate in the slam dunk contest was the beginning and the spark plug of its demise. Period.
You know
there
what?
is no one who can dispute that.
You know what? I'm blaming LeBron for inflation, and the reason my 401k is not performing as well as it should.
You do that.
You blaming LeBron for
You do that.
First of all, I mean, those guys, and kudos to those guys, and I remember all the great dunk contests with Clyde Drexler, as I mentioned, Jordan and Dominique. but that was never something that resonated that he wanted to do. And I look at LeBron.
Maybe it was maybe he didn't think he could win. Maybe he didn't think he could win.
Why not?
We'll never know.
Why not?
We'll never know.
So you heard the exchange between these two gentlemen. Listen, none of this really surprises me. In terms of Shannon Sharpe's reaction, he's always going to get very emotional about LeBron. Extremely emotional. That's what happened between him and Kwame Brown. About a year or so ago, Kwame Brown was critical of LeBron's, not of him personally. He was just saying that LeBron doesn't have a lot of go-to moves. He was talking about LeBron. He didn't talk about his personality. He didn't talk about his character. He was just talking about certain deficiencies in his basketball game. Shannon Sharpe hears these comments. This is when he was at Undisputed. He goes on television and starts taking personal shots at Kwame Brown because he dared to talk about LeBron James. Shannon did exactly what Skip Bayless did to him with Tom Brady. He did it to Kwame Brown. The only difference is him and Kwame Brown do not have a relationship. He essentially called Kwame Brown a bum for daring to have an opinion on LeBron, which was the exact same thing Skip Bayless did to Shannon Sharpe with his views on Tom Brady. He's like, yeah, but you're nowhere near close to what Brady was. Shannon got offended, but he did the exact same thing to Kwame Brown. This is what usually happens. You have this emotional breakdown and people start going off in a tangent. We've had various people on the internet that disagree with some of our views with LeBron, and they go to the next level. Why these people behave like this, I'm not exactly sure. They're all men. They get overcome by their emotions, and before you know it, they start taking personal attacks, like personal. No, we're no longer talking sports. We're now talking about the human being, this thing, that thing. They say everything. Your race, every single thing. Because you made their titties tingle when you spoke about LeBron James. All of a sudden, they started shaking, and all of a sudden now we got problems, right? Now, to Stephen A. Smith's point, this was something that I knew, but I never connected the two. I never connected the downfall of the slam dunk contest to LeBron not participating. I remember back in the days when a lot of us were like, okay, so LeBron's going to compete in the slam dunk contest. Why? Because he's a freak athlete, and we've seen him dunk. LeBron has had some of the best dunks in NBA history. And to Stephen A. Smith's point, you would watch him at the layup line. You're like, bro, this looks easy for this dude. So we were surprised that this guy wouldn't go in the slam dunk contest and compete. We're like, bro, even if you go in there, you're LeBron. They're most likely going to give it to you, right? They're going to give it to you. So a lot of us were surprised. Now, to Stephen A. Smith's point about him setting the precedent, maybe there's some truth to that. I'm not 100% sure. And the reason I'm saying that is this. On the one hand, it could be true, but here's the fundamental difference. Any of the players that feel like, okay, well, if LeBron didn't do it, I'm not doing it. The fundamental difference is any player that would feel that is not on the level of LeBron. John Moran is not on the level of LeBron. Any of these guys, these skywalkers, these high flyers that you can think of, none of them are on that level. None of them. So maybe LeBron said, to hell with it, I'm not doing it. But those guys, y'all not on that level. None of these guys were mentioning a top 10 players or top 15 players of all time. So I don't know why they would feel like, okay, well, if LeBron ain't doing it, I'm not doing it, but you're not LeBron. So that part I'm unsure about. But for the other parts, it's true. And then for the Shannon part, it's usually standard procedure. I've seen him insult people on a personal level because somebody mentioned one or two comments about LeBron. Like, I've seen it happen. So this is going to be a very interesting one. What happened? Yesterday on ESPN, there was a segment that featured Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith, and Shannon Sharpe. Fantastic. And they were talking about the lackluster slam dunk contest. As they were having this conversation, it got to the point where Stephen A. Smith essentially put the blame on LeBron for not competing. And he was the first domino to drop that caused a lot of these other guys to decide, hey, if LeBron ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. So they're having that conversation. They're kind of going back and forth. Then Kendrick Perkins jumps in. He starts ad-libbing and adding his own thoughts. And then it gets to a certain point in their argument where Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins suggest that maybe the reason LeBron didn't compete in the slam dunk contest was because he was afraid to lose. For those of you who didn't hear that exchange, I want to play for you now and come back and continue with the show. Take a listen to that.
There is no one who knows basketball who will refute what I'm saying. There is no one who will do it. LeBron James refusing to participate in the slam dunk contest was the beginning and the spark plug of its demise. Period.
You know what?
There is no one who can dispute that.
You know what? I'm blaming LeBron for inflation, and the reason my 401k is not performing as well as it should.
You do that.
You blaming LeBron.
You do that.
First of all, I mean, those guys, and kudos to those guys, and I remember all the great dunk contests with Clyde Drexler, as I mentioned, Jordan and Dominique. But that was never something that resonated that he wanted to do. And I look at LeBron.
Maybe he didn't think he could win. Maybe he didn't think he could win.
Why not?
We'll never know.
Why not?
We'll never know.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So when LeBron said it, when LeBron set the standard like he was above the slam dunk contest, what you think everybody else is gonna do? All other superstars. You don't think we want to see a Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards, but they don't feel like it's important enough for them to do it. LeBron set that standard, Shannon, and we got to sit up here and acknowledge that. You know, I'm one of LeBron's biggest fans, man, when it comes down to the GOAT situation. But damn it, you got to start calling him out on that BS when he be doing it. And you don't be holding his feet to the fire.
Oh, no. I'll hold his feet to the fire, but it's hard for me to criticize a man that didn't want to be in the dunk contest because he's like, that doesn't move me. I think LeBron James.
Well, don't talk about it no more.
How about this here? He's very strategical. He's like, whatever's going to do to enhance. The basket dunk contest ain't going to enhance anything about LeBron.
Shannon, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Shannon?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Shannon?
I want to get to the celebrity.
Shannon, you're one of the greatest tight ends in the history of football.
Yeah.
There is a contest. I don't know what it is. There is a contest that involves tight ends. It ain't going to give you another Super Bowl. It's not going to do much for you. But everyone who came before you that was on your level did it. You backing out?
It has to be look. It have to be something about with my hands. Who has the better hands? But it's just far as I didn't really. I just look at it like LeBron. I just think LeBron is a power dunker.
You heard their comments. I was surprised that they said that, number one. The reason I was surprised is because they're saying this on ESPN airwaves. Now, what do you know about ESPN? ESPN is the LeBron James network, right? It's the LeBron James network. So for these gentlemen to say that, I think what happened was we had a moment of truth. And to me, I'm just questioning why we can keep it real on Kobe, why we can keep it real on MJ. I mean, people are accusing MJ of getting his father, you know what, over gambling. People were talking about Kobe Bryant in Colorado and this one, and Kobe was this, and he's this type of person. He's an a-hole. He's a ball hog. All of these different things. When it comes to LeBron, nobody wants to talk about this, his own deficiencies. So I was surprised to see that take place on ESPN. But they brought up that point of him being afraid. Why am I harping on this point? By now, I'm sure you've seen the show featuring Marcellus Wiley we just did. We talked about this on the podcast. And Marcellus Wiley alluded to the exact same thing, but he didn't say it by word. He said that LeBron and these guys are looking at it from a standpoint of my brand. What's the pros and the cons? If I do it and I win, what do I get? But if I lose, how does it affect my brand? And I think that there's some truth to the fact that LeBron was afraid. Most LeBron fans don't know this, but I do. it was around 2000, and I think it was between a period of 2007 and 2010 or 11. But apparently LeBron attended a basketball camp. And during his visit or game, something like that, some kid, I think it was a high school kid, dunked on LeBron so hard, that Nike had to ensure that that footage never came out. Google it. Go do your research and Google it. Go do some research. Search the internet. Video that Nike hid of LeBron being hammer timed on. They hid it because they didn't want a video out there of LeBron getting posterized that hard by a kid in high school. I say that to say that LeBron was working very hard to protect his image. Now I want to go back to the bigger point that Skip Bayless used to bring up, which is LeBron is afraid to go to the free throw line. Skip was essentially saying that LeBron was afraid of failing in front of a lot of people. And it's one of the reasons his supporters have turned his reluctance to attack and make plays to let the game come down to a decision he made by shooting to, oh, well, he makes the right basketball play. They turned it into that. Instead of saying he's scared, they say, oh, no, he made the right basketball play. It's the very same reason during, I think, the 2009 All-Star game where Kobe Bryant was guarding LeBron James. It might have been 9 or 8, one of those years, or 9. Kobe's guarding LeBron at the end of the game. Kobe's like, bring it on. LeBron is going through all of his moves, blah, 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 blah. As he gets ready to shoot the ball, guess what he does? He jumps up and passes it off to, I think, Dwayne Wade in the corner, and it's a turnover. And immediately, Kobe turned right to LeBron like, MF, what the F is wrong with you? And you know what LeBron did? He goes, well, Dwayne Wade was open. And then Kobe said it. You can see him. He says, F him. Carmelo, Kobe, Dwayne, even Dwayne walked up to him like, yo, bro, what's wrong with you? What you witnessed was a manifestation of LeBron not participating in this. He was scared to lose. He was scared that if I go up and I take the shot and I miss, then I lose. And people like Kobe and all of these guys saw through that. There's a game that I recommend you guys go look at the All-Star game when they used to compete. Kobe picks up LeBron full court for the entire fourth quarter. He's trash talking it. LeBron wanted nothing to do with it. What will LeBron supporters tell you? Oh, it's an All-Star game. Let me get this right. You go into an All-Star game and you're trash talking Michael Jordan and you're trash talking Kobe Bryant, and they're going to look you off and be like, well, it's an All-Star game. Like, let's be for real. These are hyper competitors. It don't matter. Y'all could be playing in a home gym. If you come at me, you're going to get this work. No matter where we at. And it's on a public stage. They not running from that smoke. You try me, I'm embarrassed you in front of all these people. Oh, no, it's an All-Star game. What do you expect? These people are pretty pitiful. So to me, they speak to a chronic behavior that we've noticed. It's what Skip Bayless is talking about. He's afraid to go to the free throw line. He's not saying that for nothing. He's saying it because he's noticed some certain patterns. And for Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith to point out, could it be he was afraid? I think it's true. Because he's looking at it well, what if I lose? Well, couldn't anybody lose? Couldn't Kobe have lost a slam dunk contest? Couldn't MJ have lost a slam dunk contest? But that didn't stop them from competing. It didn't stop them. The fear of failing. So to me, they bring up a good point, a sound point, and everything that I brought up is fact. Every example I brought up is a fact. The video being hid is a fact. The All-Star game is a fact. The free throw line is a fact. The passing the ball, making stupid plays at the end of the game and say, I make the right play every time is a fact. It is all a fact. I'm not making it up. I'm not fabricating it. These are events that occurred. And it made me think. And I think you should too. Oh, What's most likely going to happen today is these LeBron guys that stalk my page are going to now say, okay, enough is enough. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, he's talking about LeBron. Okay, enough. That's enough. I got to come out here and say something. I got to go do a live. And I got to, first of all, count how many LeBron videos. If I decide to produce 100 million LeBron videos, isn't it our channel? Can we produce what we want to produce? No. If you're not going to say anything positive about LeBron, I suggest you stop making videos. To these people, please, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharpe, all of these guys, you owe Jordan a pretty big check for as much hating as y'all been. I mean, Nick Wright made his name off of going on TV and saying in 2016 LeBron passed Michael Jordan. Don't you think Nick Wright owes Jordan some checks too? Stop being emotional. Stop being a pocket watcher. Come on, it's not masculine behavior running around counting people's pockets. What's wrong with you?